Not far again from here is the NATO airfield. I think it's the closest to the Russian border at all. And there was the big negotiation between NATO and Russia if they start to build it, because they told that we don't like that you are so close. And then there was agreement that okay, the airfield can be complete ready, but no permanent fighter planes. And the fighter planes are in Lithuania. Maybe you saw them in there. It's strange. Some guy loves in here Estonia, but now I find somebody who likes Lithuania. It's something much wrong in Iceland. Yeah, and then there was the 2014. It was the first conflict in Ukraine. And then they opened the exercise in here, and they put the permanent fighter planes to Estonia too. And it's still exercise. I think already 6 years. They do some trainings in here, and they never leave anymore. And then was the rotation. And after every, I think, 6 months, the new NATO member come in, and that was the Spain. They did the training flights and accidentally shoot the rocket. But we were really lucky. It was not far from the Russian border, but the direction was to the Estonia. And they never find the rocket. But it was accidental. And the opposite version was the Poland. They are really brutal guys. And technically not maybe the high level, and there was the training shooting in our military areas, and the Polish fighter plane come with the real rockets and was fire, shoot, and nothing. The rockets was under in his bracket. No shoot. Yeah, but signal was somewhere between trigger and rocket. And then they start to do the circles on the shooting area, because they just afraid of to fly away, because they don't know in what moment the signal just open the brackets and the rockets start to fly. They did, and finally gave the permission, okay, go back to Ämari airport. And the fire brigade who is in there, it was to them, in one hand, today is the joke. But in this case, it was to them something close to the end of the world, because there is if the situation unclear, and the Polish fighter plane had in the situation unclear, they always do the overflight the fire brigade, and then they can see what is wrong with the plane. And could you imagine? You can go, okay, no, it's the overflight, go out, and please try to understand the situation of the rocket under the right wing. And the guys were the fuck is coming. We couldn't see nothing. Okay, second circle. And then everything was okay. The plane was down, and finally they just took the bar and the bomb went down. But no explosion. But that's the life in here. And then the reason why we developed at the moment and in this year only the thing is regarding the civil protection and the bombing. And weather forecast, of course, is very, very important, just to understand how the weather can change in which periods and what could happen. In Estonia, normally, if we have normal seasons, the most dangerous and most critical month is August for the forest fires. But I have been in one forest fire, it was 2 weeks in May. That means that if the spring starts very, 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 let's say, early, and in nowadays, due to the climate change, we feel in here the climate change all the seasons are 1 month late. Because this year the May was very cold. You are really lucky you see the summer. It was really cold. It was 7, 8 minus was during the night time, and we feel that all the seasons are 1 month late. That means now the September should be the critical June. And all the weather phenomena are are much stronger. I think last summer we were talking about something like heat wave in Estonia. Even during the night time we had easily 25. It was so hot. It was very hot. Maybe you remember the Canada, they had some hot doom. It was last year? Yeah. 50 degrees or what was. Yeah. And in the same time the winters, a lot of snow. Those snowstorms last winter we had here in Estonia, people just, you clean your backyard and in one moment you see that there is no space for the additional snow anymore. Everything is so strong. And we will see what is going on there in the summer.
As you mentioned, CESIS, are you getting any kind help from Finland and Latvia?
Yes, that was my last point. That in Estonia we have the one thing is the CESIS. It's, you know what is the CESIS? This is not the city in Latvia, because CESIS is the city in the Latvia. But it's the system. And if you need some help from the EU civil protection system, and I think the last shock activization of the CESIS did the Sweden. If Sweden asked officially support from the EU civil protection mechanism against the forest fires, because Sweden never needs such type of help. They always send out something. But in this case was crystal clear that it could happen in Europe too. And it happened. But in Estonia we have the bilateral agreements. And one is the Finland. And as I told you that we have invited the Finnish fire brigade for the forest fire in Estonia. It was I think 15 years ago. Because we just ran out of the resources. By our calculation, maybe I'm wrong, but we need to extinguish 2 big forest fires in the same time. And if the third comes up, then we need something more. Second is the Latvia, because we have the same border with the Latvia, and then the everyday life, the twin city we have in the southern part. Every day they go across the border. It's just a part of the duty. But from the Latvia we have invited the helicopters. And some summers ago we sent our fire brigades to Latvia with the ATVs. They had the big forest fire in there. We can ask support directly from Lithuania, of course, all the Baltic states in the same branch, and then Sweden, but Sweden is too far. And our main calculation is always Finland and Latvia.
Russia, no agreement?
No. And it's impossible, and it's again the political sensitive way, but how the Mr. Putin support the others. It was the roof collapse of the supermarket in Riga. I think 42 or 44 people died under the roof, and Estonia sent out the official request, not a request, that announcement. Okay, we can send support. Lithuania and Russia. Latvia was told, no, thank you very much. Okay, small group of the Estonians was in there. I was the commander, the reason why I know. And then the Russia. No, we don't need something. No. Latvia. We don't need support you, but we try to support those Russians who are under the roof. No, thank you very much. They always try to support their own. And if we take now the Ukraine, Georgia, Moldova, they always try to support their people in the country. And as you know, in the eastern corner, city of Narva, at the moment, basically it's a Russian city. There is more than, I think,
about
80%. Yeah, are the Russian population in there. And time to time, if Putin is not so busy, different fronts start to sting. How is the situation of the human rights in the Baltic states? I think it's the same you have heard in Lithuania, that the human rights for the Russians in Baltic states is extremely low. Nobody don't believe, even the Russians don't believe it. And it's always like, cat and mouse play.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah. And yeah, but the most realistic thing is that the Latvia support us if we need something.
And so